I'm more than happy to pick it up and say to you, um, how do you prepare? And for me personally, I've done one-site interviews. That's a good question. They don't spend a lot of time looking. I'll tell you two things. A bit with CVs. CVs have a primary and a secondary purpose. The primary purpose is to demonstrate that you meet the role. And so when an employer, when you send off your CV for an advertised position, they're doing a quick scan to see if you meet that role. And if you have, so they're looking to see if you meet the role. And what they're looking for is basically you've read the job description. So if you're just sending off a blanket CV, um, that you send off to everyone, they're going to know that you haven't read the CV. You're going to highlight that you haven't used it because there are going to be gaps, and you're going to see those gaps, and so it'll get bent. The secondary function of the CV, if you do get into the interview process and it's between you and somebody else, they will sometimes look closely at your CV to see if it's you or the other candidate that more closely aligns with the role. So when you're doing your CV, it really is important that you take the time to read that job description and make sure that you looked at your skills, your achievements, accomplishments, and make sure it really closely aligns with that job description and it's captured in your CV and cover letter. And so basically, and the reality is they don't spend a lot of time looking at your CV. They don't spend a lot of time reading your cover letter. But what they're looking for is who closely matches the role and the ones who are most likely to succeed in the role. And those are the ones that get interviewed. So advice is take the time to ensure your CV aligns with the job description. Make sure that when you're doing it, that you talk about your accomplishments, your achievements, what you have been able to succeed at doing. Because if you do, it will more or less get you into the door to be interviewed. So, simple answer is what are they looking for? They're looking to see that the CV you send aligns with that job description and how well it matches. And are you going to be somebody that's able to do that job? So make sure, when you do write your CV, you do take the time. And it's hard to believe. um, the hour has gone really quick. Down to the last 5 minutes. I will be back tomorrow at 4 a.m. Hey, Mary, British Summer Time for my next live stream. So if you do have a question, feel free to put it down. And yes, if you do want to send gift to, but don't feel as though you have to, um, to let me know what is resonating. Likewise, too, if you do like the feed, please please share, please follow. And again, if you do send gifts, it does extend the timer and able to answer. No, you'd need a cover letter. 80% of UK employers say they wish people would send cover letters because what cover letters do is it's a way of introducing yourself. It tells them why you're applying for the job, why you've selected that company. It summarizes your skills and also helps to fill in some of the gaps between the CV and job description. And you can kind of then, sway them to say, take a look at this, or I meet the job this way. Because it starts to highlight to them and states to them